Hello, ladies and gents, boys and girls, people of all ages, sexualities, and identities, and welcome back to another Torchwood review. And today's Torchwood review is Reset. So, what is Reset about? Well, Jack calls in a favour, so he gets Martha Jones to turn up to Torchwood to help them investigate a strange and mysterious case in which people with very, very bad diseases find themselves practically cured after getting involved in a student program led sort of test. It turns out that this student funded project, which finds itself amassing cures every day, appears to be using an alien life form to do it. This revolutionary cure seems too good to be true. After all, what is the company hiding, and why does it not let its research out into the world? Jack gets Martha Jones to go undercover and pretend to be a student who has pneumonia, and essentially explains that pneumonia, or just a number of diseases, and explains that she's willing to pay the project so that she can be cured, at least permanently, for what's going on in her body. However, what she discovers when she gets on campus is the fact that they haven't actually got a cure. It turns out they are using these alien life forms that get inside of people's bodies and restructuring them, essentially, why they call it the reset. They call it the reset because essentially it eats away, like let's say you've got cancer or something. In this one's terms, this kind of creature eats away at the cancer and everything and begins to biodegrade it and turn it into food. However, these harmless little blighters, what seem like they might be the perfect cure to every disease on the planet, come with a negative side. If you so much as make a wink or a whisper to anyone about what's going on at the project, and you talk too much, and you essentially tell them the truth behind it, well, these biters become much, much more, let's say, ferocious. And they begin to eat away at your digestive system and begin to kill you from the inside out. Martha gets pulled up and is pretty much put on an examining table by the guy in charge, as he explains that he'd done a little bit more digging and soon realises that she works for Torchwood, but not only Torchwood, she works for units. But that's not the part that actually makes him more fascinated. What makes him more fascinated is the chronon particles. Due to some prior knowledge of his, he knows about time travel, and he realizes that Martha Jones has traveled through space. This is due to the fact that they have kind of some radiation that goes around all the companions who travel in the TARDIS with the Doctor. Martha then makes a signal to Torchwood to try and get her out, and as they try to, Owen Harper finds himself with a bullet through the chest. Yes, Owen Harper is dead. Or is he? And that's essentially where this episode kind of leaves off on the cliffhanger. So, Reset. What did I think of this? I absolutely love that they got Martha Jones involved in this. Why? Because I feel like her not getting enough screen time was an absolute disgrace with the Doctor Who universe. But to see her thrive and get at least like these little cameos and spin-offs and such, I think really helped grow Martha's character. However, I still think they need her to have her own spin-off full time. But besides that, I really feel like she shines in this story, along with a lot of the Torchwood stories she gets to be in. I like the fact that this story references the Doctor and the TARDIS. I also like the fact that this story references like the fact that there's chronon particles and such. But I also really like the idea and the premise of this. How people are constantly sold, and sci-fi does this brilliantly all the time, but I feel like Torchwood is definitely one of those standout programs that does it so well. Sci-fi always comes up with these concepts of companies and productions and people who essentially work with biochemistry coming up with these miracle cures out of nowhere. And I really like this kind of flip on its head, and when we finally get to see what's actually doing this. And because this is done so well in Torchwood, that's why I've got to give it a solid 9 out of 10. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next Torchwood review. Until then, goodbye, good night, and have an incredible night, you beautiful people.